Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Randeezus. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Today, we're going to be talking about everything in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War that needs fixing. Let me be clear that I actually really enjoy this game, surprisingly, but there are some glaring issues that need to be addressed. Guys, if you are new or returning, please hit that subscribe button. The support on the channel has been incredible. We are over halfway to 1,000 subs. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, because I personally feel uncomfortable taking a dump all over somebody's work, and because I do actually genuinely enjoy parts of this game, I'm going to start this video by complimenting the aspects that I like. The Gunsmith has had some improvements. It's not all an upgrade, and we'll be talking about this again. However, I do like how concise it is. It really feels like you are upgrading the weapon. The FOV slider is amazing, and I love it. I'm actually making the transition over to PC shortly, so I would have had one anyway, but now that crossplay is getting bigger and bigger, an FOV slider is a very important feature that deserves to be on consoles. I really like the maps. It feels like Treyarch and Infinity Ward had a love child, and those love children are the new maps. Maybe I'm just bad at the game, but I do enjoy a little bit of chaos in my Call of Duty games. I do not really particularly like the maps in the Black Ops 4 game all too much. They felt like copy and pastes of each other. Not that Modern Warfare maps are amazing, because they definitely have their issues, but I like a healthy mix of both aspects, which I think Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War does quite nicely. I like the smoothness of the game, even though it feels just as heavy as Modern Warfare felt in the very beginning of the life cycle. The game flows quite nicely. Maybe this is just part of how I like the maps, but it really feels like you can predict where people will be, and you can control the game if you're skilled enough. I only had a game or two where I was able to actually play like this because I'm not a pro, but it was very fun and super rewarding, which is a nice change of pace from Modern Warfare. Also, the Gallo is incredible. I made a whole video about it. Not really good for the game, but I enjoy it, so that's a plus. Those are not all of the good things that the game has to offer. Obviously, there are many more, but those are all the ones that I wanted to mention. There's definitely a lot that I missed. Usually good things are overlooked because you aren't really thinking about them. So if you're like, hey, you missed this good thing, Randeezus. Well, yeah, it was so good that I didn't even notice it. The ultimate good thing. On to the things that I would change. I'll also say here that I'm going to try and give a solution to anything that I deem quote unquote bad, because without an idea to fix it, I'm just being mean. And I'm not mean. Unless, of course, you eat my last bowl of ice cream, and then I am actually quite mean. Frags are way overpowered. They're frickin' crazy and need to be nerfed. I feel like I died more to frag grenade kills than actual gunfights. Crazy overpowered deserves a crazy over exaggeration. I would say just limit the fatality range of this item. Easy fix, right? I don't know. I'm not a game developer. Combat arms is super buggy. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but anytime a chopper is overhead, the game slows down to like 5 frames a second. It's insanely unplayable. I haven't noticed anybody else talking about this, so there's a chance that they fixed it, but I don't know. When I played on Monday, the last day of the beta, I didn't notice the crazy lag, but I also didn't see any choppers in the sky, so it's definitely possible that they just took out the choppers. I'm not really sure though. Gunsmith. Now, you will remember this was a pro, but you'll also remember that I said we'd talk about it again. Well, here we are. It's great that the Gunsmith is returning, but it feels like a lesser version of Modern Warfare's. It actually just feels like the beta version of Modern Warfare's Gunsmith, which if this improves, then no hard feelings. It just seems like they copy and pasted every attachment onto every single gun, which is no match for Modern Warfare's Gunsmith. Well, each gun had its own attachments, and you could create different guns with different attachments. No two guns were the same. In Black Ops Cold War, every gun feels like it's the same. I would like this to be fleshed out more. Which brings me on to the weapon models. Not just in-game, but also in the Gunsmith. The weapons don't look as detailed as Modern Warfare's weapons. Now, in reality, gameplay-wise, who cares? I understand that argument, but it still feels like a downgrade, and it's difficult to spend $60, $80 Canadian, which is where I'm from, when the previous one looked better. The aim assist on console feels off. Now, I will admit that I turned my FOV up to 110, and I've heard that with a higher FOV, the aim assist will feel less powerful because you're not actually aiming as close as you think you are. But it was hard. This one may be more of me just being a baby, but I had a difficult time with aim assist. Sometimes it felt like I was fighting against it. For example, if I was aiming at a dude who was jumping out of a window, it felt like I was tracking him in the past. Like I would just be lagging behind him the entire times. Other times when there were two people, it almost felt like the aim assist would jump between them and in the end have me killed. It honestly felt more like aim disassist. In a party, sometimes you or your friends would just disband. I was in a party with my buddy Mr. Robot on one of the days, and for a good 10 to 15 minutes, we were constantly disbanding for, I assume, connection issues. I'm not sure, to be honest, but we either couldn't connect, or any time that we did connect, one of us would be transferred to another lobby or disconnect entirely. It only happened once, but for like 10 to 15 minutes, and it was super annoying. Now, this next one could possibly be the server tick rate, and it most likely is, but I was also affected by the shoot first, die first gameplay. Again, probably the tick rate, but it seemed fairly often. I would start shooting somebody who wasn't looking at me, and then they would just like snap around and beam me without me ever putting up a fight. Now, there's definitely a possibility that I'm just bad at the game, but I don't think so. If it is the tick rate, then we can pretty much bet that it will most likely be fixed 6 months after the game's life cycle. Thank you, Treyarch. And the last thing I wanted to talk about today is the visibility, which is super poor. I've seen a lot of other people talking about this as well, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but oh my god, how many times do I turn a corner, do a quick scan, not see anybody, and then get shot from 2 different spots? Like, come on, dude. Not sure if character models need to be brighter or maybe higher saturated, or if, you know, that will eventually just happen from shop skins, but it's really annoying to me in the beta and something that I would love to be fixed. Another fix that I've seen mentioned is the returning of factions. That way you can tell if someone is on your team or not, because they'd be like the Russian Spetsnaz or the US Marines. That's from COD 4, but the point remains. It could work really well. Honestly, at this point, they could make any choice and it would improve. But guys, that is everything that I wanted to discuss. If you have any other things that you want to talk about, mention them in the comments. I would love to have this discussion be furthered. I love COD. I assume that you guys do too, or why else would you watch this video? So let's talk about how we can make it better. Guys, if you liked the video, like the video. If you loved the video, subscribe down below and let me know in the comments section what you would like changed. Peace out.